Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk a little bit about pop-up blinds. Now I think a lot of you guys and the viewers of the channel that are repeat viewers, you know that I'm a pretty big proponent of using ground blinds. And the reason for that is they're so diverse. You can use these things in a lot of different situations and they're very easy. You know, you don't have to go into an area and hang a tree stand or hang a double stand or build a box blind in an area. You can just go and buy one of these at Walmart. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter how expensive it is. And you can go set this thing up and blend it in really well and be hunting in minutes. So one of the main reasons that I love pop-up blinds, not necessarily just all season, but early season in specific, is there's a lot of ever-changing habitat and there's a lot of changing food sources during the early season. Now there's candy crops, as I like to call them, and those are going to be your apple trees, your fruit trees, maybe some acorn trees, but things that change and don't last forever. Now, everything is always changing in the whitetail woods at each time of the year and in different stages. All of these food sources for whitetails are drawing deer at a higher percentage than others. So one of the main things I like to use ground blinds for is adapting quickly. Now, this is one of the favorite spots that I have for using a ground blind in, just because this is a spot that I hunt late season. Now, a lot of the things that I'm talking about with ground blinds and being able to adapt with them during the early season overlay to the late season as well, because it's a similar concept. There's ever-changing and evolving attraction when it comes to food sources. And basically, when I'm using ground blinds, I'm using ground blinds during that bedding to food source movement because it's more predictable. I understand, okay, deer are bedding here and they're trying to get here at some point. Whether they get by me and to that food source before shooting hours ends is another story. That relies more on the weather and the situations to drive that behavior. But I'm hunting that line of movement that is highly predictable because I know what food sources are attractive during what times of the year and what bedding areas are being utilized during that time of the year. So I can play that chess match and I can get set up on an area without having to climb up the tree, cut all those lanes, get everything set up and perfect, and at the same time being exposed, being more exposed when it comes to my wind, when it comes to my visual, and then when it comes to my audible as well. With those ground blinds, it muffles a lot of the sound. You still have to be quiet. You still have to be a good hunter. Don't get me wrong, but you can get away with a little bit more. You can get away with more movement first and foremost. And then your scent is controlled much more, I feel, than being in a tree stand. And then at the end of the day, your audible is muffled a little bit. And being able to hide better, I want to talk about one thing. You have to blend these things in really good to their surroundings, or else they're going to stick out like a sore thumb, right? They're going to come with a typical whatever camo pattern that you buy. You basically want to camouflage that camo pattern. You want to blend this thing into the surroundings. Just because it's camo doesn't mean the deer can't see it. It's still going to have that silhouette shape. And if it doesn't blend into the surroundings, they're not going to like it. What I like to do is I love switchgrass for hiding ground blinds. I can bend those stalks off just right below my shooting window. I can break those stalks off and I can create lanes through that. And that makes it easy to brush in and it makes it easy to get my shooting lanes ready without having to go drop a bunch of limbs and make a disturbance that way. I can get these things set up really quick if I'm using them right around that switchgrass area. So like I said, this is one of my favorite locations, but it's mainly my favorite location for the late season because this is a bedding to food source movement and it's focused on ag. But this is replicable when it comes to if you have a high quality apple tree or a high quality, high producing white oak tree that these deer are hitting, if it's on a field edge or if it's on the way to a field, you can set these blinds up and you can get on that movement quickly. You're not having to go in there and create a whole bunch of disturbance when it comes to using a chainsaw, busting yourself up with a handsaw, getting up the tree, getting it set up, because hanging a tree stand is much harder than it is to just pop up a ground blind and brush it in quick. In my honest opinion, it's a lot easier. I can just do it a lot faster. So I like those for that aspect of things. I like to have my main hang-on tree stand at the ready and loose almost at all times. So when I do get to those rut sits, I have that available so I can go hang and bang somewhere if I need that. So I don't like to use that thing and leave it out during the early season on a changing movement, I like to just go slap up a ground blind, be quick about it, hunt it maybe once or twice. If I don't get it taken down right away, it's not the end of the world. I still got it there. I'll get it after season. I don't have to go and take that tree stand down and have it so I'm ready for during the rut. I like to have that thing loose and ready to rock. With those ground blinds, I've got a lot of them, so I can just leave them out there if I don't get to it. Then I don't have to go in there and disturb anything by taking that down or whatever. So I like to use those things to get on quick movements. Ever-changing movements, ever-changing food sources. Bedding areas are changing here as we push into fall, but the food sources are changing throughout the season. So being able to adapt quickly, get on a movement, be able to hunt an area very effectively, but do it quick and not allow deer to understand that they're being hunted in that area. Getting those ground blinds set up, you can brush them in really well. A lot of them nowadays have little bands and straps that go around so you can use some of the surrounding vegetation to brush that thing in. I really love that aspect about it, but they're just so quick and efficient and convenient. So I recommend if you guys are trying to get on a quick movement, early season, if you don't have a stand location in a specific spot, get aggressive. Run to Walmart, grab a $40 pop-up blind, slap that thing up, get within 20 yards of whatever movement you're taking advantage of, 25 yards, whatever that comfort, that safe range that you like to be at. Get there, get aggressive, get a little bit more aggressive, and then go get yourself a shot opportunity. This is what I use ground blinds for, pushing into areas, taking advantage of short-term movement, trying to produce that shot opportunity that we're always waiting for, that we're always trying to anticipate. When's that next shot opportunity gonna come by? When's that next shot opportunity gonna present itself? I'm always trying to create a scenario that's gonna get me my next shot at a good deer. So take advantage of that. They're cheap, they're easy, they're quick, they minimize disturbance. You can brush them in really easy. I can get one set up in a half hour, tops. I can get one easily set up quick. I don't have to bring a chainsaw. I can use a handheld weed whacker to knock down some of the vegetation, and I'm hunting almost immediately. I'm not even scared to go in with a ground blind, not even pre-set up, go in there right before I'm hunting, pop that thing up, get it set up, and then just go hunt right then. Because that's how minimal that disturbance can be if you got it in the right location, if you're brushing it in and hiding it with that surrounding vegetation. You can get in there and be hunting in 30 minutes or less. So take advantage of those things. That's what I like to use them for, those short-term movements that those deer are not gonna be on forever. That's a highly predictable movement. That apple tree is gonna run out of apples, or that acorn's gonna run out of acorns. But if I can get on that movement when they're still highly attracted to it, that ground blind is a very good option to get on that movement and get yourself your next shot opportunity.